Here we go. You know how we start these things off?
Yep. Hi, my name is Brittany Hopkins. I'm a manager on the growth team, and I am also a cake artist, and I love making sugar flowers. Okay, here's the real story. So I'm one of 6 siblings, so I'm a middle child. I have most middle child stereotypes. But no matter how crazy the day was, we all met at the dinner table every night to like an amazing dinner made by my mom. But as soon as she could pawn off desserts on someone else, she assigned them to me, which I always loved. I love sweets. I have a huge sweet tooth. So growing up, I started taking over the baking when I was 12 or 13. I could sit in the kitchen for hours and just make like 6 pies for Thanksgiving, like no problem. But my grandmother loves cake. She bought me my first piping kit, and then I discovered that like you can also make cakes look good, and I was just so intrigued by it. Fast forward to 2018, I went down to Alexandria, Virginia and took a class with Maggie Austin. She is known specifically for her sugar flowers. It was a week long. I show up and I'm like, I've never made a sugar flower ever before. And I remember Maggie being like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you're here. I remember coming home from her class and I would just make flowers, like my social life paused. I was just obsessed with it. So I did my first real cake. 2 of my dear friends got married and asked me to do their wedding cake. I remember making it and pulling it out of the oven, and one of the layers just like dropped on the floor, and I was like on the verge of tears. I was like, oh my gosh. But I feel like that's all part of the journey, you know? You're just like falling on your face and then you get back up again. But I think I did 1 or 2 other weddings after that. The longest that I've spent on a cake, I think it took me like 60 to 65 hours. And it was like this lemon blueberry flavor that I make that everyone always loves it. So I try to make cakes that look good and taste good. When you are performing under pressure like that, like in advertising, something you have to learn, and something I still am learning, is how to do great work and pay attention to detail and move fast. I think one really cool thing about being on the growth team that I've loved is telling the DH story, and part of that story is like the "we get better" mantra. I've learned so much from that mantra personally. Having a big dream is like, it can be really scary, but you just need to start. You need to start now, and once you start, you can make it better. When I'm following my cake dream, I'm kind of following my intuition, and people here like Di Hamilton, Eric Muller, Brian Lefkowitz, Elle McComsey, like all of these people have taken an interest in my cake dream. The closer that I get to it, and anytime I take a step towards it, it's like, it feels right. I'm ready. Anyone wants a cake, just call me.